All right, before I go into the details of how to use the Paul Revere app, you will see the mobile instructions right there for how to first get a disadvantaged user account, which is required to be able to install the G1 App Store app. You must have the G1 App Store app installed on your device for you to be able to access the App Store and download and install the Paul Revere mobile app. So as you can see here, we've just finished up setting up our disadvantaged user account profile. And these instructions right now on your screen, if you took your phone and had a QR scanner, you can scan the QR code to the right and it'll automatically install these instructions just as you see them on your mobile device. Once you have it installed, once you have your disadvantaged user account, this is how you get the App Store app. And once you've installed it on your phone, for iOS users, you have a separate step, and that requires you to actually go in and trust the app developer, which is the US government. Fairly simple. Again, scan that barcode and it'll install on your phone. Here we have the Paul Revere app. On the top right, you will see the administrative dashboard. That's for the admin in your group who will be actually in charge of the recall roster or an alpha roster. As you can see here, people are not required, or end users are not required, to actually have the app installed to receive a notification from your group's recall administrator. However, there can be only one administrator at a time, and I'll go into how to set the alpha roster here in a minute. In the bottom left, you can see this is what the end user experiences when they actually have the mobile app installed. Again, you will receive a notification, but you cannot acknowledge receipt without having the mobile app installed on your personal device. And you can respond back to the recall in 3 different ways: through an SMS, or here we can see we have the supervisor's email as part of the recall. It's just easy to click and send. And here we are writing back to the supervisor via the email. And that is how the application works for doing a recall. Here's the typical workflow, and there's a lot of busy words at the bottom that you can ignore, but this is what a recall looks like. Your recall administrator receives the phone call, they have to do a recall, 100% accountability, and with the administrative dashboard, and the address for that was on the previous slide at the bottom left, they're able to get this alpha roster. Ensure that the telephone number is in text format in this column. There's only one administrator. It doesn't matter about the person's rank or who's actually in charge of who in this section. These I've broken down by duty positions, but at NGA I just broke it down by offices and their numbers. There are 3 or 4 letters because you can recall based off on that, each individual one. You can see here that Jody Saffel actually reports to me, David Geiger. Now, we all know that Jody does not report to me, but that's how would work for an administrator to send out a recall. And this is an example of what your phone number looks like if it does not have the text formatting and the plus number at the beginning. +1 for the country code is required. And do not hit enter on the emails because that will not send it out. And it only goes to the primary notification, not the secondary. The secondary information is just for your information purposes for the recall. Some notable improvements in the last version of the recall app for Paul Revere. Every end user did receive an SMS, phone call, and email. It's all automated. And for all the instructions that we've created for teleworking, you can visit this YouTube channel to discover more videos on teleworking at NGA.